Hey everyone, welcome to our monthly call. So Lindsay King, our beloved Lindsay King, has designed this really incredible and affordable Oil of the Month Club. And she's really carefully picked 12 affordable, versatile doTERRA oils that we can implement and learn how to use one oil 1 month at a time, okay? So basically, it's pretty simple. It's not complicated. And we really want to make sure we help you like fully understand each oil and how easy it is to incorporate it into your daily routine, like what that would look like. Chances are you have most of these oils that we're going to be going through this year. But if you don't, remember they're affordable, you can grab it. We're going to make sure we're educating you. Lindsay King is posting daily in Fierce Oilers over on Facebook, this monthly call. The purpose of this call is to make sure we educate you, and you can also receive info via text each month if you would like. Okay, and you might be thinking, okay, so seriously though, one oil we're going to focus on for the next 30-ish minutes, that's insanity. But honestly, our adaptive call last month was so fun. It was one of my favorite ever. So I think you'll really enjoy this. I think it will be engaging. It's really fun to like totally deep dive into just one thing without bouncing all over the place. So this month, February, is Arise, is the Enlightening blend. You might have that, you might have this. What I would invite you to do is just to take a minute, take the lid off. If you just want to smell it, that's fine. You want to put a drop in your hands, go ahead and take a breath of it in. You know, Elevation has been discontinued, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be my replacement. I've got in the diffuser here. We're just all about Arise. All right. So tell us in the chat box right now if you are using Arise this month. Have you been incorporating it? We'd love to hear. So I'm going to encourage you to take notes as we go. You can always watch for the recording link. I'll put it in Fierce Oilers if you need to go back and watch something. And I'm going to hand it right over to Susan Wood, and she's going to help us better understand the Arise blend.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Am I good? Yeah, okay. All right, thanks, guys. My internet was wonky. Shocking, right? Okay, so Arise oil, what is in it and what is it used for? So first of all, thank you, Lindsay King, for introducing me to an amazing oil. I mean, so of all the oils that we are picking throughout the year, I have a lot of them, but I didn't have this one. And I am so grateful that you chose this because I'm like happy. So I had a life change and I got a new job. And so this has just been a perfect way in which to start my new adventure, right? So, okay, what the heck is in it? So first of all, if you can, you definitely can smell the lemon peel and the grapefruit, right? So you can smell those oils. And a couple of really great things about lemon, right? Lemon is when you characterize it or classify it, it's for cleansing and purifying, but also there's words like uplifting and invigorating that you see on doTERRA's website. And one of the things that I think of is like, how in the world, well, I'll talk about that in a minute. How in the world does it like really make you happy, right? Like when we throw it in this yoga collection. So there's lemon and there's grapefruit, and the cleansing properties for both of those are just out of this world, right? So whether it be cleansing from the outside or, you know, countertops that we talk about, or the internal, right? So to me, I feel so much happier just smelling it. But in addition to those two citrus oils that are in this, there's also Siberian fir. So this is another, like, I have a lot of oils and I've been so blessed to have this. I have probably every other fir known to man, but I don't have Siberian fir. So that's going to be on my list next month for my LRP so that I can add that to my collection. Because when I was looking this up, one of the things that it talks about is that it helps to reduce stress. You can apply it topically to the skin for minor skin irritations. You can inhale it and experience what they say is a refreshing aroma. And so if you're listening to some of these things, right, you're knowing that it makes sense that it's in the yoga collection, right? So think about sore muscles, think about aches and whatnot to decrease stress. That sounds great. I will tell you, probably you're going to hear a lot about yoga upcoming in the next couple of minutes. And that's probably why I didn't have it. I'll be the first to say I am not a yoga girl. And so I didn't really think that that applied to me. And yet, when I look at the combination of this, so it goes on, there's osmanthus flower. And so osmanthus essential oil is rich in beta iodine. It's aromatic or aromatic compound that is in a variety of floral oils, especially in my queen of all oils, rose, right? So you're going to smell a little bit of hint of those floral tones in addition to the citrus. And because of this, osmanthus has been shown in clinical research to reduce feelings of stress when inhaled. So we have this floral and this citrus along with the soothing, calming support of Siberian fir. One last powerhouse is Melissa. I mean, not Melissa Werner, although she's a powerhouse too, but Melissa oil. And it's an incredible oil that's used for all kinds of applications to help soothe not only physically, but also your thoughts and your emotions, right? So any aggravation of emotions that you have. So it's also thought to reduce inflammation, infection, anti-diabetic effects. So all those things are really nice in there. So yeah, it makes sense that it would be in the yoga collection. But what I would just say is if it's used for helping with clarity and happiness and promoting this uplifting environment, it makes perfect sense. But if you think about the science, and I think we're going to go into that, what it means is it's actually affecting the limbic system, which is in the brain. It's an area of the brain that's responsible for emotions. So when you smell these things and you feel happier, that's the reason, right? There's actually a chemical reaction that happens in the brain.
Thanks, Susan. All right, well, that leads me over to what I wanted to talk about. So let's just consider for a couple minutes some of the science behind this blend, as well as like what's like some specific emotional support that it offers. So I'm going to focus on four of the 5 oils in this blend. So let's start with lemon and grapefruit. They're high in monoterpenes. And did you know, I didn't know this, monoterpenes are actually present in varying amounts in almost every essential oil. Okay, so common ones that you'll hear about, like limonene, you might hear us talk about pinene. And really when there's monoterpenes present in an oil, it makes it cleansing, high in antioxidants, protective to your cells, really promotes like healthy cell activity, normal cell growth. It's repelling for insects, fun fact, and stimulating and enhancing effects for your mood and cognitive health. So grapefruit has the highest amount of monoterpenes of any essential oil. Limonene is in there and it's at 97%. Okay. And lemon also has a very high amount of limonene, 95%. So like Susan said, no wonder lemon and grapefruit are in there and you can really smell them. Siberian fir, that one is going to be high in bornyl acetate. And this is all about, like Susan said, soothing, relaxing, supporting skin and tissue health. I guess I didn't realize this about Siberian fir, I missed this one, but it's very helpful with like the pigment of your skin. So daily topical application can help lighten your skin tone a little bit. Like if you have maybe certain spots that you're working on, I would keep in mind when you're using a rise, I probably wouldn't maybe necessarily use it that way because of the lemon and grapefruit and photosensitivity, but keep that in mind about your Siberian fir. And then Melissa is high in aldehydes. It has approximately 35% aldehydes, so it's its main constituent. And something that is also interesting that I didn't know, aldehydes are usually found in plants in small quantities, like 35% isn't that big, but they're known for their distinctly potent fragrance. So for example, the aldehyde in Melissa is citronellol. And that is, even though it's only 35%, that's what you smell. That's that sweet lemony fragrance that you smell when you smell Melissa. That's from the aldehydes in there. So oils with aldehydes, they protect against environmental threats. They're calming to the emotions and they support healthy gastrointestinal function and digestion. So that's just a little bit of the science. You know, doTERRA works for like years very specifically. And in this case, for the yoga blends with a really phenomenal like yoga instructor. I don't even know a yogi. I don't know I'm not a yoga person either, to really come up with a synergistic blend. So drop a 1 in the comments if you learned something new about chemistry, right? Next up, let's consider some of the emotional pieces of Arise. So it's called doTERRA's Enlightening blend. And I think that word really summarizes well what's going on with your emotions when you use this blend. So Arise can powerfully lift individuals individuals, burdened individuals, and fill them with enthusiasm, joy, and optimism. It reawakens intuition and insight, and it encourages individuals to reclaim their potential. So the negative emotions that it helps you move away from: burdened, joyless, pessimistic, fragmented. And what does it move you towards? Feeling integrated and intuitive, joyful, enthusiastic, optimistic. Okay, so tell us in the comments if you could use just a little bit more joy in your life. Not that you always get that from oils, but how beautiful that our bodies are made, that when we smell something, it really can shift what we're feeling at that time. All right, next up, I'm going to toss it over to Melissa, and she's going to share with us about sourcing.
Okay, so I think it's really cool that this blend only has 5 oils in it. Some blends have many more, and that it is just so powerful. And the reason is partially also where these oils come from. And sourcing from doTERRA is a really, really neat thing. They don't buy the farms. They teach the farmers how to run the farms in a way that is going to produce the most potent oil for your blend. So I have a quiz. I'll see if we have time for it, but I just wanted to tell you a little bit, some fun little facts about each of the oils that are in this blend. So Siberian fir, of course, is from Russia. It's from Siberia, but it's a conifer and it thrives in really cold climates. But what I love about this is that the essential oil is distilled from the needles. That makes sense, right? But what they do is they harvest, other companies harvest Siberian fir trees for other reasons. And after they've been logged and they've taken what they need, then doTERRA's distributors collect the pine needles and they use those in their distillation units. So I think that's really neat that there's no waste. Melissa's from Bulgaria. It's been an agricultural haven for a long time. It's got like the perfect climate for aromatic products. However, at one point, Bulgaria was overtaken by, they faltered a little bit and they stopped doing that kind of crop and they were doing more like wheat and sunflower and corn. And many of the Bulgarian farmers replaced their aromatic crops with those items, but it wasn't working for them. Their economy was falling apart. So one of the things that has helped them, one of the many things, is that doTERRA has gone in and built a distillation facility called Esoterra. When I'm done, I'm going to put the link to the short 5-minute video on what that is. And I would encourage you guys to click on that link and watch what Esoterra is doing. But basically, all of Melissa and all of Lavender come from Bulgaria. Just a really incredible story about how they're teaching all of the people in Bulgaria to be managers, distillers, farmers, engineers, and great things are happening. Lemon comes from Italy and Brazil, but primarily from Italy. Did you know that they can grow to be the size of softballs? I think that's kind of crazy. Who knew? But the thing I wanted to stress to you about the lemon and the grapefruit in this blend is the way that they are distilled. So, when you use a rasp in your kitchen for maybe nutmeg or grating cheese or just some kind of a grater. So the way they do this is they put the lemons and the grapefruit separately, of course, in water, and those oh my gosh, rasps are under the water and they kind of rumble around the fruit. There's my very unscientific term. They rumble the fruit around and they get all of the rind off that can be used, and out comes this kind of furry little ball of what has remained, and they juice those and use them for something else. So after that rumbling around in there and scraping off of the peel, they spin the liquid in a centrifuge and it pulls out the actual oil. So I just thought that was kind of cool, guys. Grapefruit, any guesses where grapefruit is sourced for doTERRA? I was shocked. The United States. Best climate for grapefruit. Hello, who knew? And the last one is osmanthus, which is actually in 6 other blends that doTERRA offers. And one of those blends we're going to be talking about next month. So tune in for that. But Osmanthus is from East Asia. It's actually a small evergreen. It's like a little shrub. Who knew? I've been learning so much about it. And that the chemical constituent, I'm going to wow Amy Baumitz on this. It's called trans beta ionone. All right, so I'm going to have to read a little bit more about that for next time. But the fun fact of that Osmanthus has a tiny little orange blossom, and it's most commonly used to flavor green and black tea. That's why Mimi loves tea. So just a little bit about sourcing. I thought that was fun. Sorry, I don't have time for the quiz, but tune in next month so you can hear me talk about the Osmanthus in balance.
Nice work, Melissa. All right, Laura Whip, you're next.
Hey, Fierce Oilers. Thanks, Melissa, for so many good sourcing facts. Boy, did I learn a lot. Well, I'm going to talk to you about the yoga collection, and you do not have to practice yoga to enjoy and benefit from this whole collection. So it includes 3 oil blends. They are called Align, Anchor, and Arise. And my little obsessive trait is that I had to say them in alphabetical order. So sorry about that. And so Arise is, of course, the oil of the month for February. And I'll talk about the 2 out of the 3 just briefly, because Susan and Amy did such a good job of talking about the specifics of Arise. So we'll start with Align, and bergamot, coriander, marjoram, peppermint, jasmine, and rose are in the Align blend, which is also known as the centering blend. And it's a little flowery and a little spicy, and it really encourages harmony and calm progress. The next one that I'll talk about is Anchor. That's also in this collection, and it has lavender, cedarwood, sandalwood, cinnamon, frankincense, black pepper, and patchouli. So we have a few wood oils along with the calming of lavender, and this blend is known as the steadying blend, and it promotes feelings of completeness, calmness, and courage. And then finally, Arise is the enlightening blend, and we already Susan went over what was in that. Arise helps to instill feelings of happiness, clarity, and courage. And the happiness comes from those citrus oils that we talked about. So the yoga collection is really great for diffusing or using topically on your pulse points. And that collection sells for $52 wholesale. So it's a really great price for those 3 blends.
Thanks, Laura Whip. All right, Laura Jaramillo, let's do it. Let's do some yoga.
I don't think we're going to be doing any yoga.
Please don't make us do yoga. Okay, carry on.
Someday I think we should do yoga. At least 30 minutes of yoga. Okay, so I had the opportunity to take my Arise with me on my yoga retreat this weekend, which turned out to be just perfect. But I would use, if you have your Arise, I would invite you to no, I think I'm gonna rethink that. If I were to use yoga in class, like if I were to take it to a Hatha class or Kundalini class, I'm a teacher both for Hatha and Kundalini yoga. I would use Arise at the beginning of class because it's very uplifting, and at the end of class, you generally want to be much calmer if you're taking one of those classes. So it's something that I would put in my hands and on the bottom of my feet and just really breathe that in and let the oils do the work. Trying to think if there'd be any other way to use that oil that isn't just intuitive to me. But it's a beautiful oil. I really like the whole set. You could use the whole set through your whole yoga practice. And or just during meditation or prayer, it's a really great oil to bring in. So thank you.
A question for you, because there are like certain poses you're supposed to use it with. It's standing, running man, and something like this. Do you know what they are? Isn't there something, do you know off the top of your head?
That sounds like tree pose. You stand like a tree.
I'm a tree.
What would be another pose that you would
I
use?
know. I think it's on doTERRA's blog. I'll have to look because like Laura's right. You can use it in any way you want. I mean, however you feel led to with yoga, but there are like, I thought there were 2 poses that they were like, these are specifically good poses. Interesting,
Oh,
huh?
interesting. Yeah. I'm gonna pull it up and I'll post it.
Okay. Yeah. Don't ask me. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Laura. All right. So, Arise is kind of mysterious when it comes to different recipes you can use it in, but let's just be creative here. So if you wanted to like, maybe you just don't, maybe you want to do something a little bit more than just putting a drop in your hands or applying it topically or putting it in your diffuser. First of all, some tips for you in your diffuser. I mean, it's so beautiful. I kind of hate to like mess with this blend, but if I were to add in an oil, if I were to add something in, might I recommend some drops of vanilla, Madagascar vanilla? I think would be really delicious. I think if it's more of the fall time of year, I think it'd be great to add like just 1 drop of cinnamon and see how you feel about that. And the other thing that I think you could not go wrong with is trying some of your peppermint or spearmint minty oil because of the citruses in it. So that's something I would recommend. And I also feel like, don't forget that you can really easily make a room spray with Arise. I know we all love our diffuser. We run our diffusers, but those continuous misters, those purple ones that doTERRA sells, are they out of stock right now? Sorry, I'll check on that. Bottom line, if you can get your hands on some, it puts it out in the ultra fine mist. And to put some drops of your Arise in that, I feel like Laura should have one in her yoga bag. But seriously, so I think that would be a really great way to continue to incorporate it. And I wouldn't hesitate, like when it comes to an oil, like a blend like this, think about it. Melissa, lemon, grapefruit, even Siberian fir, all of those, I would totally make a hand sanitizer out of this. I know that's like, gasp, you wouldn't use on guard. No, I would mix it up if I wanted to. I would carry this bottle with me and just put the drop into each of our hands and have us rub our hands together. I would freely do that. And I wouldn't worry about that. If you want to add a drop into your cleaning spray, add a drop. So have fun with it. It's a beautiful, beautiful smell. Okay, good. Laura's helping me give the right yoga poses so I don't look like a silly goofball. Okay. 8:23, we're amazing. First of all, I'd like to say, Melissa, do your quiz. I put her on the spot.
Okay, multitasking, sorry. Okay, here it is. Which oil in this blend is a byproduct from another harvest? Oh, boom, boom, boom. Look at you guys go. I did not tell you this point, but you're gonna have to guess. Once Melissa is harvested, within how many hours must that distillation process begin or it's completely ruined? Oh, wow. Guys, it has to be within 1 to 2 hours. So around that distillery that I was talking about in Bulgaria, they only plant those crops within 50 kilometers because they have to be able to harvest it and get it in and get it going. And what do the grapefruit and lemon processing have in common?
The rumblers.
It's called rasping process under the water. But anyway, there you go.
Melissa, that
you
was
guys
great.
did great.
You're amazing. Okay. Thank you everyone for just eating up all this amazing info. Thank you for everyone who shared. Can you guys do us a favor? Tell us in the chat box something new you learned about Arise Enlightening blend, or maybe you just learned about raspy rumbles and that's okay too. Okay. So if you have questions, be sure to put those in the chat box. We're actually going to stick around after the raffles to do Q&A for anyone who has a question about anything, really. Okay. So remember, we're all about education. We want to support you, care for you, hang out together in a Zoom. That's why we do this call once a month for 30 minutes. And I talked earlier about the process of the Oil of the Month Club. Each month is a new oil. What is the oil for March? Who knows it? I'll give you a minute to put in the chat box, because it's a really good one and I'm so excited. Balance, boom, Jesse Center was made for that question. Balance, grounding, blend. A daily must-have. It's in every room of my house. It's in my backpacks and my bags. I have multiple ones depending on what activity I'm doing. It's in both cars. Okay, I have little rollers of it everywhere. Hop on this call to find out why I love it so much. But I think this famous line comes from Melissa. It helps us to not kill and eat the people that we love. Okay. So it's my number one oil to reach for daily for myself. Like a perfume, it's my number one oil to reach for when there's a tantrum going on. It's $21 and it's the bomb. So grab it ahead of time. If you don't have it, you'll be ready to go for March. Reach out to your oil girl if you need a sample to try. Okay. And I'm going to put the link to register for, it's March 21st that we're going to be on together. Just like February 21st, March 21st. Aren't we so cool? And do not forget about our Saturday morning continuing education that happens in Fierce Oilers at 8:30 a.m. It's a different leader. It's a different topic. There's incredible value in these classes. This Saturday morning, I'm sharing about doTERRA's nutrition and supplements, and I'm going to include some of the more like obscure ones, like why would you use them? How would you use them? And all that stuff. Okay. Who's ready for giveaways? Melissa's ready for giveaways. Share your screen. All right, so for tonight, we've got 2 bottles of Arise that we're giving away, a bottle of Balance, and then 2 samples of Arise as well.
Okay, I'm finally ready. Here we go. Drum roll.
We've got like pretty colors. Look at you. Oh,
What's this, the colors in the picture?
okay.
Oh, Laura Lowry.
All right, so that Arise was from Lindsay King. Thank you, Lindsay. Let's do the second bottle of Arise from Melissa.
Mary Lou.
And a Balance from Melissa.
All right, here we go. Aunt Lucille.
Okay. And then one of the Arise samples.
Jesse Center. What are you guys burning in the background over there?
The fire. I left fire duty and he's holding a pillow over the fire alarm right now. Second Arise sample.
Ginger Rubenstein. Amy, you're writing those down, right?
Yeah, who was the first one the alarm was going off? I forgot.
Laura Lowry. Guys, I really need you to message me, please. Wait.
Wait. No. The one you called right before Ginger Rubenstein for the first Arise sample. Or do we only do one of them? Pick another name.
No.
It was
Someone's name.
Jesse Center.
Jesse Center.
Okay, praise the Lord. Okay, we figured it out.
Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, I need you please to message me, even though you're gonna say, I know you know my address, please message me so that I can most easily get all that information, all those prizes out. It makes my life a lot easier. And please tell me what you won.
Boom. All right, we'll see everyone next month. If anyone wants to hang on, some of the leaders will hang on for a little bit if you have questions about anything or why my fire alarm was going off or whatever. So we're here.
I'll answer the question while we're waiting. So what happened to me in yoga class was that was the first time anyone had ever told me that I snored. So we were relaxing and I fell asleep. I was really relaxed in yoga. It was amazing. But I have not done yoga since. But that was at the clubhouse. Melissa has seen our clubhouse. Laura has seen our clubhouse. I had a great time, but have not gone back to yoga ever since then.
Fell asleep. You were really relaxed.
If all you have to do is sleep in yoga, I'm in.
Amy and I did yoga one time. There was a lady that came up north for like 6 weeks and she was like, I'll do free yoga classes. And I was like, Amy, let's go. And we went and Amy and I were together in the back row trying to hide. And she walked by Amy and she went, no, you need to put this. And she went to Amy's leg. And I thought Amy was going to snap in half. And we were like terrified.
I am not flexible. I'm not made for this stuff. Also,
We're German.
It's an epidemic. I'm just kidding. All the people falling asleep in yoga class this time, we got the giggles over this. This is amazing. There weren't any questions I missed in the chat box, were there, Melissa?
Yeah, what are you burning?
Oh, literally, that's the fire. Our one smoke alarm by the fire is like, understandably, very sensitive, like it should be, but you know, it goes off. It goes off when we cook hash browns in the kitchen. I don't understand. Bypasses all of the smoke detectors and sets that one off. I don't know. Fun facts. Aren't you so glad that I shared that with you?
Guys, did you get the link for Esoterra so you can go back and watch that video? You won't be disappointed that you watched it. I put it in the chat. All right, well, no one's got a big burning question.
Besides the burning in my house. So I'm going to go address that, I suppose. And don't forget your balance for in March. And then we'll see you Saturday morning for nutrition and supplements.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.